What I'd like to talk about today is everything that's right about D4. Then, I'd like to talk about some of the things that might need a little bit of updating. First, I really like the way the Paragon system and glyphs have been reworked. Having 5 boards and 300 points to be distributed amongst them, I think is great. Also understand that any of us can get to the end game. You don't have to necessarily do it in Tournament 4. You can do it in Tournament 3, Tournament 2, Tournament 1. And 200 Paragon points, in reality, are reasonably easy to achieve. But if there's a T4 to get, then everybody wants to be there to get the absolute max for your time spent in the game. I think that the stat squish that was introduced has been reasonably successful, although some of the numbers that I see on the Spiritborn are just unbelievable. I'm glad they went away from all the zeros and having K, T, M. That's good. The updated mechanics for the power levels for the gear I think is good. Legendaries and ancestrals are well thought out and far better than previous seasons. And on the gear itself, it actually means something rather than let's see, damage on Tuesdays. I think these are all good things that's been introduced. Certainly the quality of life is definitely better. I think the expansion, and along with the expansion, the introduction of the Spiritborn generally has been very well done. We all know that the Spiritborn is massively overpowered, but also the fun factor, it's 100%. No doubt in that whatsoever. The Spiritborn itself is bugged to hell, and it probably would have done a good thing to have a PTR on the Spiritborn to quash some of the bugs that are in there. But saying that, I have really enjoyed playing the Spiritborn. Clearing Pit 150 when the developers said that this was never going to happen with far from ideal gear was an achievement that I was very proud of. I was very happy. Didn't do it on the first attempt, but you get the right boss there, Bob's your uncle. Down he goes. So yes, very happy with the Spiritborn. There is a patch being released tomorrow that will buff the Spiritborn, as if the Spiritborn really needs some buffs. But they're looking at a few different builds that they'd like to increase. But I think what is more important is the buffs that are coming to the rest of the classes to at least bring them up to somewhat, maybe Pit 130 if they're lucky, Pit 140. To be able to clear these would, I think, be very positive. Within Nahantu, there's a couple of new areas that have been introduced to us to explore. The Undercity and the Dark Citadel. The Undercity you can run yourself or in a team. The Dark Citadel is for team players only. Really is mostly I run solo. I haven't done the Dark Citadel too many times. Also, we were introduced to mercenaries that's based in Nahantu, and generally speaking, I like the mercenaries. They've been a good introduction to the game without overpowering builds. So I think mercenaries, very positive. With Season 6 came along the Realm Walker, this ponderous beastie that rambles along, giving us opals to be able to get XP, boss materials, equipment, I think generally speaking, it's been okay. Before I go on to what I think needs to improve, if you could give this a like and subscribe to help my channel grow, I'd appreciate that very much. So I've talked a little bit about the things that I like about D4, that I enjoy playing. I love the Spirit Born. However, there's a few things in D4 that now we're up to halfway through the season. We're coming up for the mid-season patch. There are a few things that I believe haven't been addressed, need to be addressed, and really irk me. Now, I've played for hours and hours and hours. I'm on average probably about 6 hours a day, which is far more than most average players who might be playing 6 hours a week. And the absolute fact that I can do for the last 48 hours with zero upgrades to equipment or aspects. This means for an average player, you could see nothing for weeks and weeks of gameplay. This is just not fun. This is just annoying. Now, how can I say this in a nice way? Getting aspects maxed out for your gear is virtually impossible. Unless you want to spend the whole season on one character. We're midway through the season. I'm midway to getting my aspects to be maxed out. It's a little boring, to be perfectly honest with you. And having the grind to get all these aspects is just mind-numbing at times. This is me playing 6 hours a day, 7 days a week. For your average player, this is going to be nigh on impossible to achieve, even by the end of the season. Something needs to be done here, whether it's the drop rates for the ancestral items to be able to pick up good aspects, or something else. I really don't know, but something does need to change in this. Now, when we talk about drop rates, and we'll look at the drop rates for uniques, I'm target farming my uniques for the Spirit Born, for the Quill Volley, Rod of Kepaleke, Banished Lord's Talisman, getting these at Duriel, getting these at Andariel, running literally thousands of these damn things. When I see a drop of a quad GA, if it was like, for example, the Banished Lord's Talisman, and it's got the absolute 20% skill rate, makes it absolute garbage, unusable. This shouldn't happen. It's when you see this, you get so disheartened after running hundreds and hundreds of bosses, and you get this absolutely 4-star 4GA, and you look at the skill set and it's like 20%, or like Kepaleke, and it's 1%. You go, what the fuck? This is not right. When you have something, in my opinion, a single GA drop, yeah, it can be totally random, high, low, blah, 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 no problem whatsoever. But like a double GA, it has to be at least 25% better. Triple GA, 50% better. Quad GA, 75% better. So when it drops, it's really powerful and usable, and you get this, wow, yes, this just dropped for me. But to get a quad GA Kepaleke and it having a 1% skill set, it's just like, WTF. this is just disheartening and it puts you off running this again and again and again. Now, masterworking. I like that there's only one material needed. In my opinion, very positive. You need very few mods to gain the first levels, again, very good. Needing massive mods to get to the max the gear, again, no issues. But what the bugbear is, if you don't hit the last set of affixes that you need on the last rolls to truly max the gear, then you have to take it all the way back to zero. Extremely frustrating. Perhaps you're looking to hit max resource in some gear, maybe max life, and you hit around 10 of everything, but max res never hits. Then you say, okay, let's just keep on. People were complaining that they had no iron chunks or rawhide. Both were basic items for masterworking, which in itself is ridiculous. Now, if there was a system that allowed you to lock in the gains you just had, it would take away a lot of the frustration that many have with the masterwork system. Something like you can accept or reject when you enchant an item in the occultist to gain a different skill. Now I'd just like to touch on the Undercity for a moment. The vast majority of drops for tributes are Titans and Harmony. Where's the parity drop for refinement? For every 99 drops of Titans and Harmony, I have perhaps 5 drops of refinement, if I'm lucky. Refinement, in my opinion, is one of the most underreported ways of getting masterwork materials, because it's so damn rare. Running it can get you 2000 obsidian every single run, making this potentially the best method for farming masterwork materials. Now, let's talk about Harmony. Reward versus time? Not really impressive. It feels underwhelming. Titans is actually quite a good way of getting boss materials. But the thing is, adding a bargain to the tribute, the rewards are underwhelming. All in all, I think D4 has been much improved since its launch, but it does still need some work to improve the fun factor in the ways I've outlined. By far not the only ways for sure, but the average player, the grind can be a little boring. The grind to Paragon 300 is extremely difficult and unachievable for most players, even with the Mother's Blessing coming up next patch. Should it change? Perhaps not. It's not a goal for everyone and in no way impacts significantly if you have to get to, for example, 274, which is about halfway on the XP to the way to 300. It's still perfectly okay. I think the few points I raised does need some looking at to improve the game, but they are by far no means the only things. Only the ones that irk me the most. I'm looking forward to the patch that'll drop overnight and see the differences in my alt bar. Go Barb! Also, there's going to be another campfire chat this week, I believe, to let us know about Season 7 changes and the PTR that will be following. Armory, anyone? Please leave any comments on your thoughts on the game so far. And also, like and subscribe to help me grow on my channel. Thank you very much. Bye for now.